Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. I see Debo. Debo. You like that? you like that? They say we was playing cupcakes. We beat them down. We beat you down too. Huh? Shout out to Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska. But Michigan just beat Nebraska 45-7. And this was a complete game. This was a complete game right here. You know, started off strong and just pretty much continued all the way through this one. You know, it was just best game we've seen from them this year, especially going against a better competition. This is the best game they done played. So shout out to all the team, the boys. Big game right there. Or great complete game. So let's go through it. And somebody told me, what do you say? If you have any complaints about the Nebraska game, then they're manufactured. Boy, I always got to complain. Because I'm looking for things you ain't looking for. You just looking for the final score, bro. There's always something to work on. Always. You never play. You can play a perfect game on the scoreboard, but you still got mistakes and things that need to be worked on and corrected. Come on, my brother. Now let's get into it. Let's see. Let's start with, I guess we can start with the defense because it ain't much there, honestly. Defense, Kenneth Grant. Interception. Big boy. It's great to see a defensive lineman that hardly ever touches the ball have the wherewithal. I mean, the ball is just in the air, comes down with it. Beautiful on his part. You know, Heinrich Hardberg, he didn't really get to do much. He did throw some good RPO passes and stuff like that, a few of them. But as far as the run game, he didn't really get much unless they kind of let him get it on like a long third down. But you had Kenneth Grant get a pick early, and the pick was off of a tip. So McGregor and Jenkins and these boys, they tipped a lot of passes. Quinn Johnson, we had about 4 or 5 tip passes. And, you know, McGregor tipped one early, and Kenneth Grant came down with it. So shout out to him because he caught it, and guys were trying to rip it out and stuff, and he got down and held on. This right here. Josiah Stewart, he was flying around somewhat. But when he was dropping into coverage, he ain't got it yet. And I know the method to the madness because he's not understanding what he needs to do when he drops into those zones yet. I know Jesse Minter's trying to get him to, get it. You got to work on it in the game sometimes. He's just not, right now, he's just not good at it. Every time, the few third downs and pass completions that Hardberg have, a couple of them were because of Josiah Stewart dropping in the zone, and he just don't know what he's doing. So, just like that, that's something that needs to be worked on. There's always something. I don't know why you sent me that, bro. It's always something. You posted that like I'm a Michigan hater. Do you not see that behind me? Like what's going on with you, bro? But yeah, there's always something to work on, and that's something that needs to be worked on. Him dropping into coverage, he's just not looking good at it. And he's honestly, it seems like he's lost and he's confused when he's dropping back into coverage from the D-line. So that's one thing that needs to work on. Besides that, he was flying around somewhat. I believe he got a sack. McGregor got a sack, I saw. And let me see who else got a sack real quick. Let's see who else got a sack. Yeah, Stewart got one sack. Derek Moore got a sack, came around that edge fast. McGregor, it was good to see McGregor finally get a sack. He came around that edge. Well, he didn't even come around the edge. He bull rushed somebody all the way back into the quarterback. So that was good to see. I don't care how you get there, just get there. I don't care if you come around the edge, flying around the edge wide. I don't care if you go to the outside and come back with the spin move like Aiden Hutchinson likes to do. I don't care if you straight bull rush him. I don't care how you get there. Just get there and get him down. So that was good to see, 3 sacks. Once we got them down, they had to throw a little bit more. Got to hold on to the ball a little bit more. But honestly, on that bull rush, he got there. It didn't take him long. He put that left tackle back into the quarterback's lap fast and just grabbed onto the QB. Big stop. Or great job. Let's see. 4th and 1 stop. What I tell y'all? Boy, you run that ball in 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, boy, you playing with fire. You might just hand us the ball. Just hand it to us. Because you worked your way down the field. You in field goal range. But you had to go for it. And I don't blame you. You was down 14-0. You had to go on and go for it. But you know what happens when you do that? You get nothing. You don't get no 3. You don't get no 7. You get nothing. So big stop on 4th down. This was a pretty much you get nothing game. They didn't get that 7 points until 2nd and 3rd stringers went in the game. Also, I saw Rod Moore out there with the 3rd stringers. He's still trying to get back into rhythm. He's still trying to get back into rhythm. He didn't play much with the starters. He played some, but he was still out there with the 2nd and 3rd string guys. I hate to see him out there when that long run came back, but that just shows he's still trying to get back into form. He definitely was out there though. Yeah, he was definitely out there. He definitely played. Let's see. That's about it, honestly, for the defense. I mean, complete game. This was just a complete game, both sides, really. Them boys just handled business, and what can you say? Great game by the defense. Now, on offense, you saw the balance, running it with Blake, Mullings, JJ. And this is why when you pull up these stats and people talk about Nebraska's got the number 1 rush defense. Okay. That's why I didn't even bring it up, because they played 2 cupcake teams in, I think, Minnesota and Colorado, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. But I know they played Colorado and 2 cupcake teams. Colorado don't run it well, and those cupcake teams, they're cupcake teams. So you know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't even bring it up, because Michigan's got a potent. What Michigan does is potent. There's just so many. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. And like the announcers like to say, they just slowly strangle the breath out of you like a boa constrictor or a python, whatever. Just slowly squeeze you to death on defense and offense. Just there's so many weapons. You worried about JJ throwing it, all of a sudden JJ's running it. You worried about JJ throwing it, here goes Blake. You worried about Blake, here goes JJ. Here comes Mullins coming along, looking good. Donovan in the throw game, Donovan running it here and there, even though Donovan's still not looking like Donovan. And to be honest, I'm not knocking him, because let me get on this. To me, and what I see right now with Donovan, you need to line him up in that I formation. They did a couple times, and those were probably his best runs. You need to run Donovan out of the I formation. That's what I think right now. If you want him to get his mojo and start getting some better yardage, because whatever they're calling out of the shotgun for him, you ain't barely seeing nothing coming together out of that for him. He's getting 3 yards and he's getting hit at the 1 after he gets 1 yard. You know what I'm saying? So I'd like to see him out of the I formation more. Just honestly, that looks like what he needs to run out of. And honestly, this year we're running well out of the I formation. We might need to see that more often, just with all the backs. Honestly, I know you don't get the read, the JJ stuff out of the I formation, but then you get the bootleg and stuff like that you can do. But that's just what I think out of it, you know. Roman Wilson. Roman's a stud. Boy, I probably should have brought this up first. Roman has probably the catch of the year, pinning the ball to a guy's back or to his head, the back of his head, and pulling him on down. I know that dude was like, bro, let go. Let go of me. Nah, brother, I need this 6. You ain't going nowhere. Where you going, boy? You ain't going nowhere till I get this touchdown. You might as well get ready. You going for this ride. Now come on down. Come on down, brother. So Roman has earned that number 1, and I'm loving it. That boy is balling and has took his game to another level. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of him. You know, these boys ain't get this. They were clicking so well, you know, early and from the start of the game. JJ's stats are like his stats we expect out of a true cupcake game, like we're playing Colorado State or Hawaii or something. 12 for 16 for 156 and 2 TDs. You know, so Roman had what? 4 catches for 58 yards, 2 TDs. That's all they needed. You know what I'm saying? But the TDs were beautiful. You know, the TDs were beautiful. Mullins is starting to come along nicely, and he gives us something that we need. A bigger back that can, you know, run the ball. Donovan's a nice size back, but he runs soft. You know, he's a straight ahead back, speed kind of back. Blake is a complete back, but he's still kind of little because he's just built little. You know, he's got a lot of muscle now, but he's 5'8", you know. Mullins gives you kind of a mix in between both of those guys. He's not fast, but he's not, I wouldn't say he's slow like that, but, you know, he's just a bigger dude that gives you another back for change of pace. So you can bring these guys in. Everybody stays healthy. Everybody, you know, contributes. So it's good to see that because you never know what will happen, and you might need that other back. So that was big to see. JJ got a rushing TD, was running around some. O-line was looking good. Boy, that O-line was looking good. And boy, JJ was sitting back there all day sometimes. He got all day. That boy, he done made something to drink. He done went and made him some noodles. We still play. Let me go and throw this touchdown. I got all day back here. That boy back here done made some Kool-Aid, took a sip, then ran it on in. That's what I'm talking about. So everything was looking good. We got to see Darius Clemens get in, catch a pass finally. I was glad to see a crossing route. More crossing routes. Those crossing routes are easy yardage. They're easy yards. Drags, them little drags and little crossing route, 5-yard crosses and stuff like that. Those are easy yards, you know. So it's good to see those that more understands. Like, bro, you don't have to do. Sometimes you don't have to do anything but run some crossing routes, and you can just get first downs. Like, it's simple, you know. You don't have to think too hard. And another thing I like about Moore is he likes trickeration. So he ran a flea flicker. I think we got probably 20 yards or 25 yards on it, but I like that he likes doing trickeration and imagination. I like that about him. But for the most part, this was just a complete game, you know. From Mike Barrett had a strip, not a strip, but Mike Barrett forced a fumble. Chris Jenkins couldn't get on it. You know, this was just a complete game all around, you know. Ain't really much to complain about. Dude messaged me, but, you know, there's always things to work on, like Stewart, you know, dropping back from the D-line, you know. That late run, they got late, very late, but that was third stringers, maybe even fourth stringers, in a few, like Rod Moore trying to get back in shape was out there. But this was just a complete game, you know, and it was good to see it. This is the time you need to start, you know, we want to see this team gel. think that we had about 200 and some yards rushing. Let's see. Blake had 16 carries, 74 yards, a TD. Donovan, 14 carries, 48 yards, but he was 3.4 yards a carry. You know, you want to see that come up for him. Khalil Mullins, shout out to Khalil. He had 5 carries for 43 yards in the TD. JJ, 2 carries, 30 yards. Good to see JJ getting involved. Limited carries, very few hits. Beautiful. You know, then we saw Dunlap, we saw Leon Franklin, and then the rest were quarterbacks. Denago, Donovan Warren, Warren and Tuttle. You know, so it was just big to see. You know, this is a complete game. This is the game we wanted to see out of them. We haven't really seen it, but it finally came together. So, honestly, there's really not much to complain about. Saw Henderson got blew up got blue passed on a duo play to Blake, I believe. But besides that, there wasn't much to complain about in things that you can just pick apart from just watching it right now. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like the all 22 that everybody's getting and all that stuff. But those are just some things I saw. For the most part, just a clean game. When there was a mistake, you could see why it happened. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you had to go back and watch film like, what really happened right there? No, you could see Josiah Stewart didn't drop back. Josiah Stewart is confused. Oh, Henderson got blew by on this play. You know, you could see what the mistakes were for the most part. But this was a complete game, you know, beautiful to see from JJ, everybody else, you know. They want to talk that stuff. We beat them cupcakes down. We beat you down too. You want some of this too, old man? Real Debo stuff. We love to see it. So, but that's about all I got for this one, y'all. Like dude was saying, it ain't much to complain about, honestly. Honestly, for real. My computer is messing up. I probably won't be able to go live. My computer just refuses to connect to the internet, and I'm too far from the router. You know, so I'm probably gonna have to buy a new computer and find a new computer before I can go live again, because I have to connect all the way to the router for this thing to upload. But that's about it. You know, I think who we got next, Minnesota. So I might make that video probably tonight or tomorrow. But beautiful to see. Easy peasy. This was an easy one. Came out and hit them boys in the mouth from the jump. I think Nebraska was shell shocked. Like, dang, they good. Dang, they good. We ain't got a chance today, y'all. These boys. Yeah, they the number 2 team in the country. They might be number 1. Y'all sure that ain't the number 1 team? That's how Nebraska looking at it, like, because boy, them boys came out focused and ready to go. Maybe they just needed to get on the road and, you know, get away from playing these lower level teams. But they came out and looked good, very good. People were saying, oh, they don't look like the number 2 team. They did today. So shut your mouth. For it be you next. For you next. Let me get off of here. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.